You want to start selling on Amazon, but you don't know what product to sell. In the beginning, it can be easy to get overwhelmed when you're trying to figure it out. Hey, I'm Nolan, and in this video, I'm going to give you some tips to make this whole process a whole lot easier so that you can make the leap and become an Amazon seller. Or if you're already a seller, hopefully these tips can help you to find your next big product. So let's jump in. So the first point I'll bring up is finding a product research validation tool. And you can start your search using one of these product research tools. Helium 10 is a really great option for finding some of these opportunities. They're designed to give you data that's directly related to the numbers that are going to show you whether a product is profitable or not. You need to be able to analyze those statistics because those are what allow you to understand whether a product is worth getting into or not. So leading into my second point, I'll show you what I mean. So the second point is going to be inputting and retrieving information from these research tools. Like I said, Helium 10 is one of the best research validation tools on the market, so I'm going to be using that in this video. Let's hop over to the computer and see how this works.
Okay, so now that we are on Helium 10, let's go through this example on how to find a profitable product. So first, I'll head over to the left here, and under product research, we're going to click on Blackbox. So once you're on Blackbox, it's going to look like something like this, but it's going to be under products. So we're going to hit keywords. Once you hit keywords, it should look something like this. So now, after seeing what other Amazon experts are recommending, I would, under search volume, put 20,000 just for this example. Now, there are going to be products that can be profitable with less search volume, but with more search volume comes more opportunity for sales. As for monthly revenue, 5,000 is a good minimum because you have to account for expenses like shipping costs and FBA fees. So if you're only hitting $1,000 to $2,000 in monthly revenue, you're not going to be making too much money. You'd probably be lucky if you break even. So we're going to set the minimum to 5,000. Price, generally the rule of thumb for first-time sellers for their first product is between $20 to $50, just because anything south of $20, generally there's not too much profit to be made. Anything $50 plus, it no longer becomes an impulse purchase, like something people don't really have to think about too much. And if it's plus $50, then people might have to think about it. Maybe they look at your listing, they'll have to think about it, put it on their wish list or something, but then forget about it and then end up not purchasing it. So that's generally the range. I am going to leave it open just for this example, just so that we can keep our options open. For reviews, I'm going to be setting a maximum of 150. Anything higher than that, it'll be hard to compete against existing products that have thousands of reviews. Some people recommend doing even less, like a max of 50 to 100 reviews. Now, this may be a bit lesser known, but it's always a good idea to put a word count minimum of at least 2, because if it's just 1, there's going to be very low buyer intent, and we don't want that. Finally, we'll just look at the categories here. When it comes to categories, generally I follow a few rules. I stay away from electronics for a number of reasons, but you know, they're finicky, can break, and that can result in a lot of returns. They can also go out of style, or new tech can come in and they become obsolete. Foods, I would stay away from. Grocery, logistically, that's just a nightmare, and I wouldn't even know where to start with that, to be quite honest. Generally, we also don't want anything too big, as you know, we want to keep shipping costs rather minimal. So instead of telling you what not to go with, maybe I'll just show you what can be some good ideas. Arts and crafts, they're small. Baby products are always hot ticket items. Beauty and personal care, generally pretty good. Health and household, home and kitchen and dining, you know, just household products in general that are smaller, that keep shipping costs down, and that relatively cheap to make, and that don't break very easy and stuff like that. So I did select categories. You can leave it open, but generally there are some categories that we recommend first-time sellers kind of lean towards, but again, that's up to you. So once that's done, you would hit search, and Helium 10 will recommend a few phrases according to what you've inputted into Blackbox. And so one thing we'd want to stay away from obviously is like St. Patrick's Day wreath. That's seasonal, so we wouldn't want to touch that. Again, Easter, hair toppers for women. Now, I haven't heard of that. It may be something you want to look into. You want to stay from anything seasonal or anything brand name. One thing I did find that I'll go into a bit more detail is the ice mold for face, and I hadn't really heard about that, but it has good search volume. Price point is a bit lower than what I would generally recommend, but we're going to check it out anyway. Monthly revenue, I believe, is pretty good as well. Reviews are very low for this product, so if we go ahead and check that out, the ice mold for face on Amazon, so the first thing I noticed was the review count. The review count is extremely low for this, which means in our case it's pretty good, because that means we can compete. You know, like I said before, we can't compete on products that have thousands of reviews. And as we can see, even Amazon's Choice, they only have 37 reviews, which is just insane. So you know, there's a good chance that if we were to choose this product, we could definitely snatch that Amazon's Choice badge. So let's check out the Amazon's Choice listing. So when we look at the listing, you know, it's not bad, but it's something we could definitely improve upon, which is great. I think we could get some better images. We look at the copy, it's pretty minimal. Let's check out the rest of the listing. Again, product description, it's not a bad listing, but by no means is it great. And then the last thing I noticed was they do have a video. I don't think it's their video. Oh, it might be. But when we actually check out the video, oh, I thought I had it here. You know, it's a vertical video. It's instructional, which is good, but it doesn't instill confidence in the buyer, because it looks very unprofessional. It looks like it was just taken on an iPhone. So if we were to come in and put a really good video together, you know, like I said, we could probably be at the top of the food chain when it comes to this niche. So if I were to quickly find a product for this example, I think I would choose this. I think I would start selling ice molds for face, rather. It has decent search volume, and I think we could definitely create a better listing. Mind you, again, this price point, not ideal. I'd have to dive a bit deeper into what the actual profits would be. But again, this is just an example. So hopefully this gave you an idea of how you can find a profitable product on Helium or using Helium 10.
So the third point I'm going to bring up is utilizing Pinterest. Pinterest can actually allow you to find trending products that aren't already being sold on Amazon. If you're one of the first ones to launch that type of product on Amazon, you may find yourself with a lot of success. The idea here is to find what's trending on Pinterest and then be one of the first ones on Amazon to start selling that product. Let's hop over to Pinterest and see what we can find.
Okay, so now that we are on Pinterest, for this example, I'm going to use the example of a shelf. Now shelves, people are always going to need them, so there's obviously going to be demand, but if we search shelf on Pinterest, Pinterest is going to tell us which ones people are most interested in at this exact moment. So as you can see, there's quite a few cool ones, but there's this one that I really like. So because it's at the top of the search for shelves, I already know it has a lot of interest, but let's see if anyone's already selling it on Amazon. So if we quickly hop over to Amazon, we can take a look, and it doesn't look like anybody's taken advantage of selling this one yet. We can go through it, but I'm not seeing anything, so that could be a really good opportunity to find out how to source it and you know, get a jump on it on Amazon. Now keep in mind, maybe I'm not using the right search terms and it's ranking on different keywords, so maybe it's ranking on something closer to hanging shelves or something like that, so we could do a quick search of that. But the whole idea here is that when you're doing your research, you would go through multiple different search terms and make sure, or just check whether or not the product is ranking on certain keywords. When I do this search, obviously it's looking initially like nobody's really selling this. So, you know, this could be a really cool option. Then going forward, you would find out how to source it, or who to source it from rather. And yeah, go forward with selling it on Amazon, and you very well may be the first one. So when you're cross-referencing it with Amazon, making sure that, you know, it's not already a really popular product with a ton of reviews, it may be an opportunity for you to bring that to Amazon and, you know, be the only one selling it.
Pinterest is basically a search engine, so it's telling you what people want. Amazon shows you what they think people are buying, and Pinterest shows you what people are searching for. The fourth tip I'll bring up is improving products based off of bestsellers. Look at the bestsellers. Can you improve that product? One way to find a profitable product can be to look at bestsellers and try and create a version 2.0 of that product. And what do I mean by version 2.0? By 2.0, I mean if there's the possibility for you to improve upon the already existing bestsellers. Is there some sort of variation that you could add that would make people prefer your product over existing bestsellers? Maybe you can provide the product in various colors, or with stronger material, or better yet, maybe you can bundle it all together. Taking a product that has proven success is good, but you have to bring something new to that niche if you want to succeed as well. If you can find or make that version 2.0, you may just have yourself a new product. The fifth point I'll bring up is getting ahead of trends. Timing is everything, and if you find a product that is bound to rise and isn't popular on Amazon already, then you may have found a new product to sell. And linking back to what I've already said, Pinterest is one of the best places you can find those products that haven't hit Amazon yet. For example, maybe you went online, found a spatula that is improved or has a cool design that nobody on Amazon is using yet, then maybe that could be your product. Be wary though. If you're finding a product on Pinterest, just because there's a lot of interest doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to translate to a lot of sales. If you find a product that isn't popular on Amazon yet, there probably won't be any Amazon data available for you to draw from. So you'll have to figure out other ways to determine whether the product will be profitable or not. This is not as black and white as some of the other methods that I mentioned before. There is a greater amount of risk involved. But if you're ahead of the curve and choose the right product, then the upside could be immense. This technique isn't really recommended for people who are just trying to find their first product to sell. It'll probably be easier to gauge how a product will perform once you have experience as an Amazon seller. All right, conclusion time. If you're able to utilize one or more of these techniques, then you may just be able to find yourself a profitable product to sell on Amazon. At the very least, it should point you in the right direction. If this video helped you at all, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing as it helps out the channel.